Good evening. My name is Brian Croce. I'm the head baseball coach here at the Heights. The Cavalier Award for this year for the Heights baseball team is going to go to one of the guys on the team. We have a few guys on our team who, how do I say this nicely, have big personalities. Coach Fritz might call them divas. But that's Coach Fritz, that's not me. But this is one of the guys who is sort of one of the quieter guys, one of the guys who isn't as much of a diva, but has sort of quietly, very quietly, and I was just in the office, running some of the numbers, but has very quietly, I think, put together an excellent career. Now he's sort of one of the more unassuming, quieter guys. He doesn't sort of necessarily stand out in a lot of ways. And, we make fun of his arm, for example. This is one thing, and we'll tell him often that when he throws, he can't break a pane of glass, and he actually can't. But it's one of those things where the play always seems to be made. In other words, the ball gets the first just in time, but it's consistently just in time. And it's just sort of time after time after time, and it's gotten to the point over the years where I've just sort of said to myself, I'm sitting there on the bench, we need a big play, we need to get out of the inning, and saying, I'm hit the plot, I'm hit the plot, hit the plot. But Michael, he came up to the varsity as a sophomore, and just immediately started hitting. In fact, in his first start, he had 4 hits. He's been a 2-time All-League selection, junior and senior year. He's hit over 400 the past 2 years, he's one of those people who is sort of kind of good at everything he does. I bumped into him in the hallway in the fall, and I was asking him how his golf game was. He was like, I shot an even par yesterday. I was kind of like, I hate you. I'm just sort of joking. He's been an absolute joy to have the past few years. One of the more coachable, pleasant individuals I've ever come across. He's heading off to Princeton next year, and he knows in about 3 or 4 years I'm going to be calling him and going to be asking him to make a donation. Anyway, the Cavalier Award this year goes to Michael Bowen.
Even though it's almost Memorial Day, baseball's still going. It is, we now, Coach Carocchio, I'm not sure how many years long this is, but we have another 20-win season right now. There are 23 wins. And this week, if the rain stops at some point, we will have the opportunity to defend another state championship. So we are going for our 2nd straight Maryland State Championship this week. Brian mentioned Michael's stats hitting over 400. We have a couple guys hitting over 500 this year. The stats are sort of incredible, and it's easy to just dismiss that as...
Nah, Michael's just not that good.
These guys, that we just have tons of talent, and we've been lucky. But actually, there's quite a bit more to it. We've seen teams with talented individuals. Normally what you have is a team will throw their best pitcher at us, and they might play a close game, and then 2 days later they lose to another team by 15 runs. But what we have here is a very competitive team, a lot of depth, a lot of very good players, and that comes from all the work that they've done in the last several years in the fall, and then at their winter 6 or 6:30 a.m. workouts in the gym that the whole team comes to a couple times a week. And so with all that work that they've done, they put themselves in a position now to hopefully win 2 state championships. And I think that example of those guys give to the other athletes